There you go. I'm at Meadowlands Fishery today, near Coventry. What a fantastic venue. It's the first time I've ever been here. I'm going to unhook this fish and I'm going to show you the ground bait I'm using to catch them. Right, this is the mix I've chosen today. Before we go into that, just like to say, just to point out, it's about 14 foot deep today on the pole line, so it's very deep. It's very clear, this lake at the moment, and it's very, very cold. So obviously getting the mix right for this sort of fishing is very important. Okay, there's 4 in the range of Supercrumb ground baits. These are the 2 I've chosen today, the River and also the Bream. They're the 2 mixes that I'm going to mix up, or the 2 bags I'm going to mix up rather. But in the range as well, there's a Supercrumb black, fantastic for canal work. If you want to make a ground bait really dark and really sticky, it's fantastic for that. The last one in the range is Supercrumb lake. If I was fishing the lake today and I was fishing in shallow water and I wanted more of a fluffy ground bait, this is the stuff to do it with. But today, like I said, River and Bream. And I like to measure my ground bait out. So what I'm going to do, I think it works out about 3 pints. One bag does 3 pints. I like to do that because if I come back again another time in this thing and I've had a real good day, I like to know how much ground bait I've put into my mix. So I'm going to put 3 pints of that. We know obviously we know there's 3 pints in there. I'm going to mix that bag in. And also, because these lakes, as we all know, they see lots of pellets, lots of carp anglers, I'm going to put some fish meal ground bait in. Black F1. 1, this is going to turn the mix dark, which I think is going to be right for today with the water being clear. And 2, it just gives that little bit of fish meal ground bait, which we all know can be really deadly on venues like this. So I'm going to mix about 2 pints in. Not loads, but it just gives me that little bit of confidence that maybe if there's a big bream feeding, they're going to come in. So I'm going to stick all that in. And like I said, if you were going to a water with not so many bream and skimmers in, like I said, just use the Supercrumb black to darken it off. But if you're not really certain about fishing with putting fish meal in, use the Supercrumb black instead. Really easy to mix. Just mix it around dry. Grab some water. You have to put quite a bit of water in at the start. I've mixed quite a bit of ground bait up today as well, because I think if the bream and skimmers move in, and I have already caught some fish, it's very obvious today you've got to keep topping up. You get 2 or 3 skimmers and a roach, and if you do catch a perch, you've got to top up again. So I'm mixing probably sort of 5 litres of ground bait really, which is quite a lot for a winter session. But on big lakes like this, you've got to be prepared to put that bait in. There's probably about 2 pints of water up to now gone in here. It's quite a bit. And what I would do now is leave this for probably 15 minutes, come back to it and get the mix exactly as you want it. And then obviously the most important thing, some people don't do it, I do. I always like to riddle my ground bait. So I put it on a ground bait riddle. I always riddle my ground bait. I think it's really important. It just gets the air into the mix. And it's one thing I've always done. And you get the perfect mix by that. Let's go and catch some more fish. Right, there's the finished ground bait. Like I said, I've left that for 15 minutes. I've come back to it, put it through a riddle. Absolutely perfect. Just damp, lovely. And the smell from that bream is unbelievable. Beautiful smell. But what I'm going to do, this is my initial mix. This is what I put in at the start. I'm getting 6 big one-handers like that. Putting that into a separate bucket. So we've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. Stick that down. Like I said, this is what I actually put in my peg at the start. Not loads of freebies in it. Half a pot of casters. And I've also done some dead pinkies up. This time of year, when you're trying to get bites, sometimes dead pinkies and just get the fish in your peg and competing. So I'm literally just putting a small handful of dead pinkies in. I'm not going to put any maggots in. I'll show you a little trick what I do with my maggots. Just mix that round quickly. And what I've been doing I've got some live maggots there. You could do it with dead maggots as well, but live maggots, what I do is actually make the balls, push a hole in the middle, put some live maggots in, and make the balls up like that. And what happens is them live maggots actually break the ball up quicker than what it would do normally. So that's a real good something to try. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to put maggots in every ball, just a couple. And some of the balls I'm not going to make up really hard. I'm only going to squash sort of 2 times like that, so you can still sort of see your hand marks in it, just to create sort of a bed on the bottom on the lake, if you like. So I'm going to do that. And the last ball, I'm just going to do the same. Put your finger in it. A few maggots in the middle. Like that. So I've got my 6 balls. This is what I actually potted in my peg at the start. Topping up, really, not quite so big. The balls I've been topping up with have been probably half the size of that. But really regularly, even though it's freezing cold, I've got to keep topping up. Probably every sort of 10 minutes, really, which is, you know, quite a lot of bait in the winter. I'm topping up with balls like that. And the odd ball, like I said, now and again, a few maggots in it. And you can just cap that off with a bit more ground bait. And if you're getting pestered by roach on the drop and you don't really want to loose feed, that's a real good way of doing it, is actually bore the hole out in the ground bait and put your offerings in it. Real good way of doing it. Right, let's see if we can catch some more. Feels like a quality roach, this one. Oh yeah. Beautiful fish to finish the day off. These fish have just got stronger and stronger over this Super Crust ground bait. It's been absolutely wonderful. Thanks to Meadowlands for letting me fish here today. What a beautiful roach to finish the filming off. Well, there you go. I've been fishing for about 2.5 hours. As you can see from that, the new Super Crust ground bait's done the business. Got some roach, got some skimmers, perch. Absolutely brilliant. I'm going to pack up now because there's a big black cloud coming. It's freezing cold, so I hope to see you on the bank sometime.